This is Cannaramic, and we're bringing you cannabis like you've never seen it before.
All right. This is Cannaramic, and today we are bringing you cannabis like you've never seen it before. I'm Cyrus, your host for today's talk, and a big, humongous shout out to SOHH.com, your number one source for 24/7 hip hop news and all things entertainment. Today we are talking to a straight hip hop pioneer, a legend of the game, Grammy nominated, one of the first to really explode on Def Jam alumni. Known for endless collaborations with Method Man, the Blackout series. He's worked with Tupac, Eminem, of course, EPMD, Def Squad. Let me give you a few more shout outs, Red. You killed it in Hollywood, being a part of the Chucky franchise, being a part of How High, being a part of the Scary Movie franchise, and you absolutely have toured the entire world, man. So I cannot thank you enough for being a part of Cannaramic. Welcome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Not a problem. So, Red, there's a gazillion different things that we want to talk about today, but we'll try to stay on a very narrow pace. Legalization. So legalization is a humongous topic, mostly because everybody wants to kind of Thanos legalize cannabis everywhere, but it's not that easy.
Everyone's trying to say that again, boss?
Yeah, just the fact that everybody really wants to just make cannabis legal, and it should be when you look at states like California, Colorado, all these places that are really cannabis legalization, recreational use especially, but you have places like New Jersey, New York that are making it extremely difficult through the legalization process.
Yeah, it's like the beginning, I would say, on the East Coast for cannabis. Even though these other states have laid down the they laid down the rug, they laid down the platform on how to do it. You still got some states, that's skeptical, but know it'll help, not far as just the people, but the economy as well. And I just think like states like New York, which is, one of the major cities on the East Coast, I think they're just trying to get the laws down pat, because I actually went to a meeting in Brooklyn one time, right when they was decriminalizing it in Brooklyn. I went to a meeting and they were actually talking about selling CBD, just CBD, not even no weed with THC on it, just CBD strands out. And I was like, that's not going to work. And just from hearing the talk, of, what's going down as far as New York, the state, legalizing it, and not really too much Jersey, but I would figure that whole platform will be for the tri-state area and all the areas around it. They're just trying to figure out the right way to monitor this plant, and like I said, I think we're in the beginning stages of it, but hopefully in the next year or so it'll get lenient.
Absolutely, and I want to dig a little bit deeper into that, Red, especially regarding the legalization. Just this March 25th, there was this big excitement in New Jersey where everybody was hoping, okay, this is going to be the big vote that legalizes cannabis, marijuana usage for 21 and older. But unfortunately, the vote was delayed. A bunch of controversy. There's thoughts that, it didn't get enough support. There's this fear that, criminal cases or criminal records will be expunged. There's all these different theories behind it. And I definitely want to kind of get your take, specifically with New Jersey.
Right. Only thing I could say on that, man, just keeping it 100, yep, is they're mentioning all the cons of it. I bet you if they put the pros on the table, they'll get a better understanding, like how it can help the community, how it can help schooling and getting computers for schools that don't have computers, and just help homeless people, just help the economy all as a one. And I don't think they're ready for that, because they're pushing the cons of weed so much to deny it instead of pushing the pros about it. And like I said, the pros overweighs the cons to me. So like I said, man, it's political. Like I said, it's political. I mean, we're not like the West Coast, where the West Coast is like is like the life of marijuana. Just being 100. It's like, because it's the talk out here, the way they move, the way they think, far as marijuana, is definitely different. And I can give you an example. Out here, they actually, are big on whether I smoke indica, sativa, or hybrid. Where on the East Coast, good weed is just some good fucking weed, and bad weed is just bad weed. I never heard no nigga in the hood saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get me some sativa, then I'm gonna go cop that indica later so I can sleep." Nah, niggas, they good weed is good weed East Coast, and but that kind, far as what we want as a people, far as what this marijuana plant does, I think both sides have to get it together. Like I said, the cons, the the pros outweigh the cons, and we have to have a better communication and understanding how this plant can help, your economy, your state, your people. How it can help your people get off these over-the-counter drugs. But then again, that's money lost on another field, and you know how that goes. It's political. So
Absolutely.
yes, choices need to be made. You know.
And you're right. I want to ask you too, because one argument, going with the cons, right? You always have a handful of people that want to try to say, "Oh no, you shouldn't do it because of this and that." And I know you've heard this for years, man. There's this fear that it's a gateway drug, right? It can lead to harder drugs. And oh man, if we legalize it, oh man, even though the statistics show that this isn't exactly the case, I just want to kind of get your take on people who argue that, oh, it's a gateway drug and it'll lead to harder stuff.
Um, I always didn't really get that. It's a gateway drug. Like I never got that. Like either you smoke once, only thing is a gate. If it's a gateway, good is selling some bullshit ass weed, and that shit is not getting you high enough, and you're looking for a better high. For a person that starts off with weed and then end up on heroin, was bound to end up on heroin. Bottom line. That's just the way it is. Weed smokers I know, and the style of marijuana, once you get good bud that puts you on your ass, there's no reason to get no higher than that. And like I said, gateway, far as it being a gateway drug, I definitely can disagree on that, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I figured if you was bound to end up on coke or crack or anything else, you were destined to be there. Weed ain't have nothing to do with it at all.
Absolutely. Now, I want to take it a little bit further and kind of get a little bit personal with you, Red. Being a father, someone who loves your kids, there's this idea that, okay, once it becomes legalized, much like alcohol, with the 21 years and older crowd, it'll be a lot easier to access, right? Oh, you ask your older brother, to go get you some liquor. You can also ask your older brother to, hey, go give me some cannabis, some marijuana. So, being a father, being a parent, just kind of go with that argument right there that it'll be easier for the youth to access.
Well, it's the youth can access a gun right now. The youth can access liquor. A youth can go access a bat and go hurt someone. I mean, we all have these choices, but like I always say, it all starts from the home and how you raise your kids and how to think and how to prepare life. And the way I raise my kids, that I don't hide it from them. I don't smoke around them because they got asthma. But then again, I just never just really smoked around them for the reason is because me smoke, they know me smoke, but I wouldn't want them to have any kind of secondhand kind of feeling from me on smoking because I smoke heavy. I mean, I'm on a hiatus now. Like I might roll a pin joint like one a day or whatever. Like that was my little pin joint. I smoked when you got on a line with me, and that'll be the last one for the day because I'm on a hiatus. I got a lot of work. But bottom line is, with my kids, they know I smoke and they see me roll. But they're not stupid. They know what it is dealing with these times and ages. Kids know everything. It's in the fucking internet world, the media world. But I would say, as them going out to buy liquor, I would rather my kids to go buy an eighth than go buy some liquor and be on the road, or buy some liquor and something else happen. That the kind of attention that liquor brings than marijuana. Marijuana don't bring a really kind of loud, kind of ranty or kind of attitude where you want to hurt someone.
Mm-hmm.
I never known weed to do that. Liquor, yes, but it's easy to buy. But what can we do? As parents, only thing we can do is start from the home and teach our kids what is this. Now, have my son smoke with me? I got 4 sons and a daughter. My oldest son, yeah, he smoked with me. And they know I smoke. But is he constantly smoking? No, he know how to just say, you know what, okay, that's enough for me. I don't need to smoke no more. I tried it and that was it. My other son tried it. It's cool. I might have a joint here and there, but it's not a way of life like I'm living it. If you're gonna be a smoker like me, you definitely have to have your priorities straight, your where you're going in life already planned, because you can get burnt out just smoking every day with no plan. That can happen. You can get lazy. But then again, if you're smoking sativa, you can get energetic. You can get creative. It's all on how you teach your kids from the door about this plant, you know, at the end of the day, and what they're prepared for if they're smoking. You know, you just have to bring awareness to it. Like
Absolutely.
in
Yo, Red, let me just ask you this real quick, kind of on that same topic. Are we being too greedy by asking maybe 18 and higher, or do you kind of feel with your experience 21 is a reasonable enough age to kind of limit it at that, 21 and over?
uh that's a good question. Um if liquor's 21 and over, then I don't mind marijuana being 21 and over, or 18 as when you get a license. I don't know. I would honestly, I would say to get your card or whatever, 21 and over. But
Absolutely.
for the simple fact that I would I would love for the I would love for the youth to have their plans together, to have their schooling already on their way out of college, just experiencing marijuana. Because regardless to what I say, what any kind of age range I say on it, of course you're going to try marijuana now when you're 16, 17, 18. But to not get fully like unprepared with your life, I would say 20, 21. You know, fuck it. But then again, like I said, kids have their own boundaries. They're gonna do it anyway.
Absolutely. So moving away from the father aspect, I definitely want to heavily focus on the business aspect because, as you mentioned earlier, so much. I'm gonna be blunt. There's so much money to be made in this field. You know, you're talking about not just marijuana, but cannabis being essentially. I think my stats show about a $23 billion industry by the year 2020. And right now, it's largely dominated by white males. You know, a lot of white males with dispensaries, and just kind of talk about maybe that initially, and especially how much opportunity there is for people of color.
Uh, Bottom line is, long story short,
Okay.
it's just like any business or any occupation or any city or any inner city. Gentrification will come. Um, the big boys will come buy up and push out all the mom and pops. Bottom line, it's coming. Uh, I even talked to a lady on a plane 8 years ago. 8 years ago, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm flying somewhere. She was flying somewhere. We was just talking. Older white lady, and she said, "I make business deals for big companies." I was like, "Wow." I was like, So I said, I just asked her out the blue, not even knowing if she had anything to do with marijuana. I said, "What do you think of the marijuana industry?" She said, "Well, I could tell you this. On the level I do business, like I said, is very big, like very big." And I just had a meeting with Walgreens, and Walgreens are now, and this was 8 years ago, are now buying out land in North Carolina.
Wow.
They're buying out land in these different states. They're preparing to be able to go over the counter and buy an eighth. Bottom line. And when I heard that 8 years ago, you know, even though I had a kind of little knowledge that, the big boys are coming, but
Yep.
from her saying that 8 years ago, just kind of blew my mind. And as far as people of color, it yes, it seems like it's a boundary where we just can't cross to really be official. And and that's happening with just not people of color, but Mexicans and
Hmm.
anybody that's trying to get in the marijuana game at a lower level. And they're doing so many compliances. And that's what's really keeping the small time guys out of it. It's compliance. You got to be compliant with every law they come up with on point, and that's what's really taking down the small guys, because the small guys know they can't comply with this, or they're still trying to do things under the table. And that's how the big guys and the government is going to try to win. It's trying to make all these compliances that you can abide by and wipe you out, because they know, besides coming in and trying to raid your spot, they know to keep you down is to keep keeping these laws going on that you can't keep up with, and spending your money, and some of these people that you got to go through to go, get regulated and compliance going. These are people who don't want you in there anyway. So
Hmm.
they already throwing I got guys that, you know, do they work, they got their job, they got their dispensary going or whatever, even if it's small time, and they put money into something where they think they're going to be on the board to get a better look for their company,
Yes.
and they get turned down. They spend like 50 or 60 G's putting up for paperwork, and it don't even get looked at, or they just say no, and they still can keep your money. So it's a big business that's even going on with that too. It's just the whole game of this whole marijuana industry is just not, it's not pinned down yet. It's not certified yet on what it is and what it's not, as far as having your own business and being successful. So of course, like I said, back to your question, the big guys are coming. And far as people of color, yes, it's gonna be harder. It's with anything of
Yeah.
our color. So yeah, harder. But anybody, far as Mexicans, far as Asians, far as anyone small time that don't just have their business together, I will advise you to regroup and make sure that you're in compliance. Make sure that you've been putting in good work, quality work all these years, and with your paperwork and lawyers, and making sure that you just did the right thing by your business all these years. And maybe you might get looked at as, hey, okay, let's keep these guys on, or somebody might want to buy you out just to get you the fuck up out of there. but
Absolutely. Yep. You good,
but
right?
yeah, like I said, that's at the end of the day, it's all about being compliant, man, and that's how they're going to wipe a lot of guys out.
No, and actually, just a few more quick things for you, Red. I got to ask you, man, having been such a veteran in the game, and you've been in so many different aspects of the business world. Just what is your approach when somebody has a new vape pen, right, or somebody has some Red Man rolling papers that they want to pitch to you? Like, do you take that stuff serious? Do you have to closely look at it? Because I see that's such a big trend in hip hop. The game has its own trees by game. Wiz Khalifa has his own brand of marijuana. It's kind of your approach on that hip hop.
I think it's good. Like I think it's good that I mean, as I would say, like me, Snoop, Be Real,
Yep.
Beth, we the forefathers of this shit. So
Yes.
why not benefit off of it the right way? I think it's cool that game, and Wiz Khalifa, everyone owns their own brand. Me, I don't want to I don't want to help brand someone else and not have equity or ownership in that company. um, I would want to own my own shit. That's why you never seen a Redman or Method Man vape pen
Yep.
or rolling anything. We want to own our business and do it right. We're not beat on just rushing in the game and saying, okay, Red MF doing something. We got our own weed out. We got our own brand, even though it's close to that time, but we wasn't beat on just doing that because we want to do it right and we want to do it authentic. And and it's never too late. Like now, we're working on our stuff. We're working on our brand. I'm working on a brand, and my whole thing is I want to be able to help people. I want to help people far as CBD strand for kids. I definitely want to help the youth for people who can afford medicine. I'm all about helping. I want to help AIDS patients. I want to help people with sleeping disorders, stomach disorders. I have a sleeping disorder. I want to create something that I would take, and that I can recommend to somebody that's going through these problems. Because I did a class at I did a class at, God damn it, Oaksterdam University
Okay.
over there in the Bay Area in Oakland. I did I shook hands with Richard Lee, as it was. I'm definitely an alumni, and what I've learned there is just not about the properties of weed. You know, people don't even know this plant has over 400 components. 400 components. We're only discovering 3 of them, damn near. CBD, THC, and something else that's coming. But it has over 400 components undiscovered. Do you see why the government is trying to lock in with this bud, this plant, and have it comply through them, so they can study more, so they can start pulling out those components that we can't get? It has 400 and we only on 2. So you do the math and you see why the government is pushing on trying to own this bud and have rights to it and make us pay through the grapevine for this shit. But bottom line is, me, Meth, Snoop, and Be Real didn't know at this age and day and time that bud would be this, freely, far as passing the laws and being legal in states. We never knew this when we were smoking. And like I said, now that we know, we are taking full advantage. And I could say Snoop is taking advantage, definitely. Be Real is always brought the OG to California, so it's only right that he takes advantage. Me and Meth, we're working slowly but surely, and we're getting our brand together.
Got you. And pretty much as I let you go, Red, in an ideal world, let's just say you snap your fingers and it's exactly how you dreamed of it. How do you see cannabis?
I see cannabis at, where you going, bud? Oh, how long is it gonna take? All right, copy that. Um, where do I see cannabis going? In other words,
Ideal world, if you could just snap your fingers and boom, it's how you've always envisioned it. How would it be?
if I snap my fingers right now, it'll definitely be legalized in every state. We'll be getting the full potential. Well, not the full potential, because it'll take years and years of studies. But we're definitely found like maybe 3 to 4 more components that we never ever thought this plant can do. Probably cure AIDS right on the spot, or just I you my thing is, if we could just study this plant besides just being recreational. I know it's and concept. I mean, because recreational is free. Anyone can get a plant and feel good and use it as creativity or sleeping or whatever you need to do. But if we was to really study it to get the full potential on how it can help people, and not be so worried about the government and their over-the-counter bullshit drugs that's killing people anyway, it's all a fucking big difference. If I could snap my fingers, that part of the government will be losing money. And the real people that has something to do with cannabis, that believe in it, that has the same dream as me about just helping people, then if I snap my fingers, we'll be running the fucking government as far as the medical side with the plant.
Absolutely. We want to thank Redman for joining us today for an extended discussion. Red, real quick, as we let you go, where should people keep up to date with you on all the latest comings, especially being a cannabis activist?
Shit, man. You can hit me on IG, Redman Gilla, REDMANGILLA, or on my Twitter at Redman, or I'm at my website, www.redmans.com. And if you're in Staten Island, you can check the store, 827 Castleton Avenue, Richmond Hood, Staten Island, New York.
Absolutely. We want to thank SOHH once again for being a sponsor. Red, I cannot thank you enough for coming through, man.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for having me, man. Hit me anytime, boss.